Whether you're into those timeless classic love stories or the hot and steamy new hits, these are the top 10 romantic Netflix movies to watch right now. At number 10, Bridesmaids. So Bridesmaids isn't your typical Oscar-nominated flick, and that's just a big part of its charm. It's the only movie that snagged an Oscar while also showing a woman going through some epic stomach troubles right in the middle of a bustling street. Kristen Wiig and Annie Mamulo co-wrote this gem, earning themselves a well-deserved Best Original Screenplay nomination. This movie has a stellar cast with Wiig, Maya Rudolph, Rose Byrne, and Melissa McCarthy, who also scored a nomination for Best Supporting Actress, by the way. In 2011, Bridesmaids burst into the scene, making everyone laugh their socks off. It's clever, heartwarming, and not afraid to dive into the wild and raunchy side of comedy. The story revolves around Annie, who's doing her best to help her best friend Lillian plan her wedding activities, from dress shopping disasters to bachelorette party mayhem and bridal showers gone haywire. Annie's got her hands full, and to make things juicier, she's in a rivalry with Lillian's new pal, Helen. If you've ever been to a wedding or had a horrendous bout of food poisoning, you will find something to relate to in Bridesmaids. So consider making a date to watch this riot of a movie. At number 9, Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire, a slick sports agent, goes through a serious moral crisis. So what does he do? He pours his heart into a company-wide memo that promptly gets him the boot. Now he's got a problem. He wants to hold on to the athletes that he represents, so he takes a leap and starts his own management firm. The catch? He's got just one partner, a single mom named Dorothy Boyd, who joins him on this risky adventure. They're putting all their chips on one client, a football player named Rod Tidwell, hoping he'll be their ticket to success. And as they navigate the crazy world of sports and business together, Jerry and Dorothy find more than just a professional connection. Love starts to bloom. There are a couple moments in Jerry Maguire that'll give you all the feels. One is when a young woman stands up in an office refusing to stay with a company that just canned a guy for sticking to his ethics. The other is when she's in her kitchen pouring her heart out to her older sister about how deeply she's fallen for this man. Oh, and if you're a Tom Cruise fan, you won't be let down by this one. It's got all the Cruise charm you could ask for. Here's Tom reflecting on the film 20 years later.
After she left Cameron, I was like, I can't believe it. That's Dorothy. There she is. And the same thing, with Cuba Gooding when he came in. The character's actually written for someone who's about 6'4".
Next at number 8, La La Land. So La La Land didn't snag that Best Picture Oscar, but let's be real, it was the talk of the town for the reason. This movie is like a love letter to the musicals of old Hollywood. Think Singin' in the Rain vibes. And it's got none other than Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone leading the movie. They play Maya and Seb, two struggling artists trying to make it big and find love in the maze that is Los Angeles. Now, when these two keep bumping into each other all over the city, they figure it's fate nudging them in the right direction. Cue the romance. Gosling and Stone, who already set the screen on fire in Crazy Stupid Love back in 2011, bring back that same electric chemistry. They give the classic notion that love and art always find a fresh, modern twist. In 2016, EW even crowned La La Land as their top pick for the year, saying it's nostalgic without feeling like it's stuck in the past, and proving that movies still have that magical, time-traveling ability to transport us. At number 7, Loving. This movie is like a history lesson wrapped up into a heartfelt love story. It zooms in on a pivotal moment in 1967 when the Supreme Court stepped in and said no more to those state laws that were trying to keep people from different races from tying the knot. But it's not just about the legal stuff, it's also a touching romance that takes center stage. Ruth Negga and Joelle Edgerton step into the shoes of Milfred and Richard Loving, a couple from Virginia who had to deal with some crazy rules. They couldn't even live in the same state for a quarter of a century. They decided enough was enough and took their fight all the way to the Supreme Court, making history in the process. As Ruth puts it, it's high time we give these two some props for what they pulled off. And let's not forget, it's also one heck of a beautiful love story, maybe even the most beautiful one ever, to be real with you. Here's what these amazing actors said.
Documentary, you see them on camera and you see their shyness and they're not necessarily being themselves, but even through that you could see there's almost this cute teenage.
At number 6, Someone Great. This movie follows Jenny, played by Gina Rodriguez, who's a music journalist on Cloud 9 after scoring her dream gig in San Francisco. But here's the kicker. Her boyfriend, portrayed by Lakeith Stanfield, isn't up for the ride, and they break up. Now Jenny's not alone in this emotional roller coaster. She's got her rock-solid pals, Aaron and Blair, by her side, ready to provide some much-needed support. With her squad in town, Jenny decides to seize the day on her last night in the Big Apple. Along the way, she crosses paths with a wild mix of characters. There's a lot more to this movie than meets the eye. It's not just another run-of-the-mill rom-com. It's got a special place in Swiftie history. You see, Taylor Swift's 2014 song Clean from her 1989 album played a role in inspiring the movie storyline. And after watching Someone Great, Swift was so moved that she penned Death by a Thousand Cuts for her Lover album. If you've ever been blindsided by a breakup or had your heart shattered, this one is gonna hit home. Someone Great isn't just about endings and heartbreak. It's also about new beginnings and finding joy in the midst of it all. Up next at number 5, Single All the Way. Meet Peter, a social media whiz who's been battling a big fat zero in the dating department over in sunny Los Angeles. The poor guy has never had a partner stick around for more than a measly 2 to 3 months. That means every Christmas he's flying solo, and to make things even trickier, he's juggling a demanding job that's got him swimming in stress. But hey, there's a silver lining in this city of angels life: his rock-solid buddy and roommate, Nick. These two have been tight for a whopping 9 years. Every year they throw a big shindig before Christmas to toast their rock-solid friendship. But this year, Peter decides to shake things up. He shows up to the party with a date named Tim, who, by the looks of it, is a super busy cardiologist. Seems like the perfect catch, right? Wrong. Turns out, while Nick's doing some gig as TaskRabbit, he stumbles upon some seriously shady information. Tim's been cheating on Peter because he already has a wife in the picture. Ouch. Peter does the right thing and kicks him to the curb, but here's the twist. Christmas is just around the corner, and Peter's not about to face his family festivities alone again. So he hits up Nick with a wild idea. They should pretend to be a couple in front of the family. Here's a sneak peek.
Wow, look at these gays.
This is the first gay Christmas rom-com on Netflix.
Oh, I love it. This is so great. Look at all this plaid perfection. Single All the Way is about a guy who is notoriously single.
And number 4, the incredible Jessica James. Let's talk about Jessica Williams, the dynamo who burst onto the scene as the youngest correspondent ever on The Daily Show. After bidding farewell to the show in 2016, she shifted gears and set her sights on the world of film. Her first big move? Stepping into the roles of executive producer and the leading lady in the romantic comedy, The Incredible Jessica James. Now, what makes this extra special is that the character of Jessica James was a tailor-made just for her by writer-director Jim Strauss. It's like a custom fake love that perfectly showcases all of Jessica's comedic and acting talents. In the movie, Jessica plays an aspiring playwright who's also hustling at a children's theater workshop. Oh, and she's just gone through a breakup with her boyfriend, played by Lakeith Stanfield. Life takes a twist when her buddy Tasha, played by Noelle Wells, hooks her up on a date with a guy named Boone, played by Chris O'Dowd. And that's where the real story unfolds. Jessica's got some serious decisions to make. Is this new romance with Boone worth pursuing? And how does she want to shape her love life and career moving forward? It's a journey filled with laughs, love, and some good old life lessons. And number 3, Call Me By Your Name. This is a movie that drops in 2017, directed by Luca Guadagnino. It's a tale of young love, brimming with sensuality and profound moments, all pulled from the pages of Andre Ackerman's acclaimed novel. Picture this. We're in the summer of 1983, somewhere in northern Italy. Meet Elio Perelman, a sharp 17-year-old kid with Italian-American roots. He's living the dream in his family's 17th century villa, doing all sorts of cultured things, like transcribing classical music, diving into books, and tossing some flirty vibes towards his buddy Marzia, played by Esther Gurel. Now, Elio's got some cool parents. His dad, played by Michael Stuhlbarg, is a big shot professor in all things Greco-Roman, and his mom, Anella, played by Amira Cesar, is a translator. They're all about soaking him in highbrow culture amidst the backdrop of Mother Nature's finest. But here's the twist. One summer day, this suave American scholar named Oliver, played by Armie Hammer, rolls into town. He's here to help Elio's dad with his work as the annual summer intern. And amidst all the glorious sunshine and beauty of the surroundings, Elio and Oliver start experiencing the wild ride of awakening desire. It's a summer that's going to change their lives in ways that they could have never imagined. Timothy dished out details of the scene.
And who wouldn't fall in love with this guy right here? And we fall in love, and there's a...
Am I right?
There's a love affair that ensues. And I think I didn't know. It was all right.
Yeah, there's no. Okay.
Next at number 2, All the Bright Places. All the Bright Places is a film that'll have you reaching for the tissues. It's based on Jennifer Niven's best-selling novel and dives deep into the lives of 2 high schoolers played by Elle Fanning and Justice Smith. They're both dealing with some serious mental health issues. As their relationship unfolds, it brings moments of happiness and brightness into their lives. But here's the twist. Those dark thoughts and struggles are still lurking in the background. The movie really makes you ponder the true power of love and its ability to heal. You see, All the Bright Places hits home with a powerful message. You never really know what someone else is going through. People who seem like they've got it all together might be battling their own demons beneath the surface. It's not a groundbreaking idea, but it's one that's always worth exploring. The film tackles tough topics like mental illness, abuse, and family loss head on. It's raw and necessary, making you wish they didn't wrap it up with a sappy narration at the end. Young folks are smart. They can handle these complex ideas just fine. Finally, at number 1, Straight Up. It's all about this guy named Todd in his 20s who starts thinking, hold up, maybe I'm not as gay as I've always believed. He's wondering if other people's assumptions about his sexuality somehow tricked him into thinking he's gay. Now Todd's friends are like, dude, no way, you're into women. And even his therapist raises an eyebrow. But Todd gets a chance to test his theory when he meets Rory, who's got dreams of becoming an actress. They click right away, like they're long-lost soulmates, having those epic marathon conversations that only soulmates can pull off. Todd gives Rory a heads up that people usually assume he's gay, and she's got her own hunches. But aside from that, they're getting along like a house on fire. So Straight Up turns into a story about a probably gay guy and a straight girl trying to navigate something that kinda looks like a romantic relationship. Now the movie has a clever twist. It knows that this setup could be a recipe for some serious drama, not just laughs. Todd and Rory even show up at a costume party dressed as Paul Newman and Elizabeth Taylor's characters from Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Little do they know that in the original play, the husband was battling some repressed homosexuality, turning things from comedy to tragedy. Sweeney talked about the movie saying,
worked in the office as a cast fresh off the boat, so we may have slipped him the script, and he was gracious enough to help us out.
I read it, I was like, this guy's a genius. And he is. He's 10 years old. Right.
So which of these is your favorite Netflix romantic movie? Let us know in the comments below, and if we missed one, also let us know. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Until next time.